So those I get so frustrated playing this.
All right, everybody, we are back with the Covenant Top 8. This is the Summer Series, and as you can see, we're going to be checking out the match between Stephen Woolley, which happens to be me, and Dennis Harlian, a longtime Game of Thrones player. And, of course, I'm joined by the lovely...
Lovely.
Robert.
Well, thanks. I don't know if I've ever had lovely ascribed to me.
Yes, and so we're looking at Dennis with a Lannister, as I remember, a Shadows, kind of a Neil type thing.
That's Dennis on the right there in his Boy Scout Field Marshal uniform, and Stephen on the left with his customary Covenant shirt and jeans.
That's right. Store uniform versus Boy Scout Master. It's a classic tale. No, but Dennis had just come in from some kind of a Boy Scout event, but he couldn't miss the top 8, so he got here just in time, which is great. I can see my opening hand here. Looks like we've got at least one refugee, a carrion bird, a captured cog. Looks like 2 refugees potentially. This looks like it's going to be a really good setup. We've got Summer Theon going on here, Longship Iron Victory, maybe Mirror. Tough to say, but I think I'll probably keep that, which I did by padding the cards there.
You're a good hand.
So Lannister versus Greyjoy. This is a pretty classic matchup.
You've never played Lannister.
That's
before.
Right. Never before. Lannister causes all sorts of issues for Greyjoy, but ultimately I think we're poised pretty well to deal with them. Greyjoy can get a lot of cheap stuff out, which can slow down the Neil engine, especially whenever there's decks like Baratheons that rely on certain key characters that the Lannisters can then take out of the play by Enemy Informer, Castellan, those kinds of things, or Alchemist Guildhall in what I presume is Dennis's case here. So Greyjoy can have those really efficient, low-cost characters that come out, and we are the only house with cancels, a good amount of cancels, which is the bane of some of those more expensive Neil effects out of Lannister. So we'll see. It's always a close match, but I think... I don't know, of all the houses, what do you think, how does Lannister fare against Greyjoy?
They fare well enough, but I was actually going to say that one of the biggest hindrances of a Lannister v. Greyjoy match is that Greyjoy is always going to be going first. And that becomes something of a problem when you are consistently going second. You know, sometimes you want it, but doing it all the time is really not advisable. So I think that's one of the more overlooked Lannister or Greyjoy strength against Lannister. But aside from that, Lannister doesn't have to worry about choke. Not that you're doing that here, just because they have the gold and all that kind of stuff to essentially buy their way out of it.
Absolutely. So you see, we both flop here. We've got an Enemy Informer that unfortunately Dennis, probably his only card in that spot. Then we have Tommen, who's going to help him draw some cards. And then a Moneylender. Is that a steward or Moneylender?
Lannisport Moneylender.
Lannisport Moneylender. He's giving him +1 gold.
That's right.
And then back in the back there, it looks like maybe a Shadow Black Lane. His hand's covering it currently. But Dennis drops At the Gates, and I drop Time for Raven. So I'm going to go get my Summer Bird, and he's going to get Maester Aemon for some claim soak. On my side of the board, you have 2 Island Refugees, a Maester Mirror, which is just gold against Lannister, against Castellan effect, against Enemy Informer
Even
effects. Even Tommen, if I want to get frisky. And then Carrion Bird, always going to be useful there for the cost. And finally, Longship Iron Victory, so I actually get some card draw going as well. So that's a very good sign whenever the Greyjoy player has card draw. Even just 1 card a turn. So good. So good.
Yeah, they really don't need that much. They have the economy of their cards and that their potency is really high for their cost. So if Greyjoy can start drawing more cards, then they are just unstoppable. It's crazy how good their cards are for the cost.
Absolutely. So Dennis goes with the Tommen draw at first, and then I tell him I may want to cancel that in the future, so beware. Players often use those draw effects and then immediately reach down for the cards, and that's expected.
Yes.
Not a bad thing.
So he's dropping a Gold Road, a River Row. What else?
Good economy going on so far, and this is certainly not what I want to see. Looks like enslaved
to Mirror.
For Mirror. So should have canceled that Tommen, after all. Dissension on both the refugees.
Holy smokes, this is not a good open.
Yeah, this is one heck of an open is what it is.
Really? 2 refugees. It's
Two
gone.
refugees.
Where'd your board go?
Mirror and Mirror, Enslaved. This is the new Lannister hotness right here. This is, they have a lot of, seems like they're really getting where they can screw with people during the marshalling phase.
And a carrion bird.
And a carrion bird, so he can chuck my Raven if I play it. It's just pretty bad here. This is a really bad opening.
Yeah.
And pretty much everything that could have gone bad did.
So what are you thinking right now, though? Does this kind of necessitate a Valor next turn, or what?
You know, I don't know. It's kind of weird because, you know, Aemon doesn't go to the Valor. He's got really just trash characters out there for the Valor. Nothing unique aside from my stuff. And Tommen, which is going to help me, you know, mildly. But here comes another refugee. That's right.
Dennis seems amused.
And
Gilly.
And Gilly. And he dissensions
snap.
again.
Oh, snap. That is not cool.
Both of them gone. So
4 refugees.
The card advantage is ludicrous at this point. That is just mind-blowing.
I bet Dennis is feeling really good at this point. You know, if I had played that opening turn, it's like, man, I've got this guy in a vice grip.
Yeah, he's pegged.
Woo!
Absolutely pegged.
But what are you thinking? How can you spring back from this?
You know, at this point, I don't know what I'm thinking. I'm obviously looking. I'm thinking. So Dennis only has a couple cards left. He's gotten rid of a good bit of his tricks, and given that his hand is pretty small, I don't play 0 cost at this point. So I still have all my gold. Is there any way I can mount an offensive? And the weenies seem to attack here, and we're really. If I'm going to play Summer here, which I would like that 3rd card, of course, it's going to need to be well protected, which means I'm going to have to stop his carrion bird. Thinking.
And so, are you going to drop? What does that long ship that you have do? I can't remember.
+2 strength to participating character, and I get to draw a card if I win.
Okay.
We're going to put Theon out there. Summer Theon that can stand a Greyjoy character during summer.
That's right. Great card.
Great card.
You didn't know.
Can't play Summer yet because of the carrion bird issue, but he's going to go out there. And so obviously I'm not going to Valor here. I'm going to plan for something more exciting.
Comes that military challenge still thing. What?
Right.
Oh.
Yeah, see?
There's a long ship. Oh,
wait.
snap.
Okay, yeah. So see, his carrion bird's going to stealth Theon. I can oppose, give him +2. Mirror and Mirror cannot cancel that, Dennis.
Oh, Dennis. He thought it was something else, but it's not.
That's right.
It's
Enemy
only
form is a
marshalling
2
phase.
strength, right?
That's right.
Okay, yeah. I always think he's 3. So I was able to block that successfully, which is a big deal. So I get a card, and I don't have to satisfy any military claim. Of course, I'm going to lose this Intrigue challenge, and we'll see that now.
Big is Texas. But the good news is that Dennis is completely knelt down now for military strength, so you're going to get it unopposed.
I will, or I may have something more devious in mind.
Uh-oh.
Oh, and Dennis pulls the Raven.
Man, this is just not going well for you.
Yeah, this is just, of all things, it's just like the worst first turn that you could ever imagine. He's going to go ahead and get an unopposed power challenge. Of course, first turn power challenge, nobody cares. And then it comes back to me, and I was actually quite happy to see him kneel that down. He is playing Maester's Path, of course. So he's going to stack Aemon up with all his chains because Aemon can save himself.
So now you're going to get an unopposed military and power because... wait, it's not Summer. Thing.
It's not Summer. No,
it's different.
No. And it won't be Summer soon because that Black Raven was plucked from my hand.
I forgot he had to be in summertime.
All right, so Theon's going to swing on a power challenge.
Oh, and you're going to...
I'm going to get 2, and then one of my favorite cards, which is a card that I used to not like at all.
I know. I remember...
Sport of the Kingdom.
I used to point it out to you all the time, and it was like, ugh, no thanks.
I mean, the reason that it changed was really for the influence locations.
Nice,
It was really the influx of Targ Hollow Hill, Martell Hollow Hill, Martell Summer, you know, all those nasty influence effects. Stealing things like the Red Keep or the King's Road Fiefdoms. Those plays became a lot more solid than just stealing a gold every now and again in the game. So that's really where that came in.
But the gold isn't bad either, though.
Not bad. Against Lannister especially, it isn't.
Especially if you get that treasury.
Yeah, the treasury
crazy.
is just a great pull.
Crazy.
But, you know, Lannister, they really, their stuff is a bit overcosted. So the less gold that they have, the better it's going to be for you.
Yes. So new plots.
The board isn't great, but still, like I said, Dennis
seduces you.
Dennis has a lot of utility. He Artist Seduction's on my first Snow and Winter, which is a very interesting, at least a very interesting game.
Yes.
So I'm going to get my Mirror and Mirror back. That's the most important thing about the first Snow play here. It's going to get rid of that Enslaved. I'm going to get my Maester back. It's going to put everything on his board aside from Enemy Informer back in his hand, including discarding both of his chains on Aemon.
That's great.
So this is why First Snow and Winter is such a big play against a lot of decks, and against especially Maester
Lannister.
decks.
Especially
Huge
Lannister, too.
Maester decks.
Lannister is chock full of all these weenie cards, especially all these gold-providing characters and Tommen, things like that. Just some bread-and-butter cards for Lannister. And that is probably their least favorite plot. We'd rather see a Valor.
Absolutely.
Just so you don't have to worry about the cards being in their hand with that. Rule by decree coming next turn, so that's super awesome. It's a great play.
And the interesting thing about Lannister, especially those stewards, the plus gold dudes, is that they get their benefit before they leave play.
Right.
So it's not as bad as it could be, and I'm always kind of like looking at that, going, they're still gonna get all that gold. I don't know if so they're still gonna be able to play some bigger stuff on the first Snow turn.
Yeah.
It's just kind of a weird situation to be in.
But he's got 4 gold and 2 reducers, so effectively 6 gold to spend here. We'll see what he pulls out. He's thinking.
And first Snow is King's Pavilion there.
So that's 3 gold, or is it 2?
I think that only costs 2. Nope. We're not doing it.
Count it.
I'm not doing it.
Takes
Which is
you backsies.
probably wise with that Theon on the board.
Takes you backsies. Because it's printed strength. Did he think he was going to dodge that bullet and just...
I think he may have.
Aha.
He may have. There's a Kingdom of Shadows there. And going to kneel the River Row here, looks like. And the Shadow Black Lane to play out. Pay 1 to 3 cost. Enemy
an
Informer,
Informer.
going to kneel Theon. Not what I wanted.
Not at all what you
Given
wanted.
that those 2 Karen Birds are going to be scooped, and I've got a dude just sitting down.
So now what are you thinking?
Well, Dennis is going to have 2 Enemy Informers at least. I think that's probably the best that he's going to be able to muster here. I'm going to have nothing on the board, but I presume, I've got plus 2 gold now. I've got 3 off the plot, so I'm looking at 5 gold total. I can for sure play a 3 cost down, and then hopefully have some form of, I don't know, claim soak, or I don't know what can happen here.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely not going to be able to repel his military challenge. That's what's going through my head, at least.
And Dennis just put a card into Shadows.
Not what I want either.
Do you have any, Distinguished Boatswains in this deck?
Oh, surely. Put out the Bloodthirsty Crew.
That's always a great character. Man, if Lannister had those, woo!
We don't need that.
Great card.
And play a Captured Cog for plus 2 initiative and plus 2 dominance and a Naval Escort. So, now those Naval Escorts are pretty ludicrous. If I need to, I can give 3 characters plus 3 strength, but just the Cog and the Escort alone is 2 characters giving plus 2, and then an additional plus 2 from Longship Iron Victory. To me, this is what Greyjoy does best.
It's true.
Having the warships out, manipulating strength during combat. The Lannisters have gold, kneel effects. Greyjoys have the ability to add strength and really use those ships to make the battle turn in their favor. So we're going to see what exactly happens here.
Let's see if Dennis has a Shadows action or something. He's assessing all these ships now, which is something that I can't tell you how many times I haven't done. Just run into a challenge. Whee! I'm going to win! And then ship.
Ship.
Damn it.
Aw, ship.
Oh, son of a ship.
Yeah, so we'll see. Is he going to challenge? Surely he will.
It'd be funny if he passed, though, because you're going to challenge.
And the interesting thing, I don't know if I do this here. Actually, we'll hold off and wait and see. But you can pre-challenge the warships, so I could do a plus 3 to 3 characters before that Carrion Bird bounced, or I could give plus to his characters to get the same effect. But he's going to initiate a challenge with the Enemy Informer alone at 2 strength. Not sure.
What kind of challenge do you think? Can you remember?
It's got to be intrigue. Yeah, I'm looking at my hand, so it's intrigue for sure.
You're going to let it come through?
If I let the intrigue come through, then I get to block the military with the Bloodthirsty Crew.
Nice.
Which to me at this point is more important. So he gets rid of my Bastard there. This is an anti-Maester card, so he's wise to do so. Alright, block the Bloodthirsty Crew, give him plus 2. Not yet, says Dennis. I have shenanigans.
And then you say, but wait, there's more.
Nightmare's the bloodthirsty crew. All right, fair enough.
Go ahead, continue.
It don't matter.
It don't matter. Are you going to draw your card, though? Let's hope you remember. Oh, you do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can't forget that.
That's right.
Dude, cards are like great pirate treasure to the Greyjoys. If you have a chance, you're going to grab it.
Ooh, I get to draw a card? No way.
All right, so already, look, this looks way better, right?
It does look way better.
Economy, I've got +2 gold, I've got strength boosts, I've got card draw, I've got +2 initiative and dominance. Got 2 really good characters on the board to Dennis's 2 non-uniques. He's got a ton of cards in his hand. I can't play anything else again, but he can't play any of those down because they're just going to get scooped back up. He could play Tommen back down and get a card, which is not a bad idea. I'm in the same position, though, so we're going to hope that, or at least I'm going to hope that I have another 3 cost or higher in my hand that I can get out this turn.
That's right. And you have the economy, at least, to spend some of your bigger characters out of your hand, so that's nice.
Absolutely. Now, that last turn, if I were Dennis, I would have considered. It was kind of a weird turn. That Bloodthirsty crew was nice because he was essentially a 6 strength. He could have blocked anything. So I think he made ultimately the right move, even though it would have been really nice if he could have got that military push through there.
Sure.
Now, if he had pushed both with military and Nightmare's Longship Iron Victory, then he would have been able to do that.
Now, why is your crew knelt again?
Bloodthirsty crew is knelt for some reason. City of Sin, his plot. So he dropped the city plot that kneels a character, and I am left.
Only one person plotted.
I am left with first snow. So again, Theon is by himself, and Bloodthirsty crew is sat down.
Very nice.
So you can see the Lannister, Neil, annoying Neil engine is in full force here.
In our own defense, though, I will say it's not nearly as bad as taking icons.
Yes, no doubt.
Because Theon has a built-in stand effect.
Looks like Dennis dropped a Lionsgate, if I'm not mistaken.
It is a Lionsgate, for sure. 0 cost, and it'll let you discard power off of a non-plot card in play. Or non-house card in play.
Non-house card. And thank goodness it's non-house card.
Yes, that was actually errated. Can you imagine when that first came out and people were discarding power off your house with a 0 cost location?
Alright, so Dennis River Rose just to get Tommen out there and get a card. And old Tommy is going to go back to hand. And this is a close one right now. We both got 3 power. I'm not sure why I did that. He's going to regret that.
He's forgetting already.
He's forgot the first snow. Dennis, first snow.
And then he's thinking, more weenies.
Of course, he may not. This is the case with Lannister sometimes too. You may not have, anything above 2 cost.
There's a gold tooth mine. Excuse me.
Gold tooth mine. So some more card draw for the Lannisters here.
And a carry.
And he saw it. He went to go play Carrion Bird, and he peeked that plot over there.
Too bad for that moneylender.
That's right. He's just gonna go right back out.
And another golden tooth.
Yeah.
So 2, that's huge. The Lannister card draw really is nuts sometimes.
2 cards every turn.
That's right.
I'm scraping by with 1 if I get a challenge 1. And then the whole reason for running Summer is really on the board right now. You've seen it this entire game. It's Gilly for card draw. It's Theon because he's an absolute boss in Summer. And of course, it's the Kings of Summer agenda for the extra card every
Alanis,
turn.
thank heavens.
So Alanis comes out. She's a great asset against Lannister, canceling triggered effects, like Enemy Informer, or even like Pentoshi Manor. Just some really good stuff that she can cancel there.
That's right. And you still have what, 2 gold left over? Nothing left to spend?
Just 2 gold left and just tons of weenies in hand. And it's always weird being stuck on a first snow turn or on an Art Seduction because you the next plot you drop, you always want to just explode out of it. It's like all this potential energy has been. And Dennis has peeked his Shadows card, and it is an Alchemist Guildhall. Beware, everybody. That is an Alchemist Guildhall. I just saw it.
Which is going to be nasty.
I'm not happy about it. So it looks like Dennis is going to double swing, and I don't know exactly what kind of challenge he's doing. We will know here in a second. And that should pop everything back in there. I want to say it's an intrigue challenge.
I'm surprised he didn't Guildhall. Either way, it would keep Alanis down, and I think that would be advantageous, get that intrigue challenge through. But we'll see how it plays out for him.
Absolutely.
I would have definitely brought it out, though, without question.
It was probably either that or the Golden Tooth Mine, the additional Golden Tooth.
Yeah.
And, this is the kind of thing where he may well just be Valoring next turn.
Sure.
I've got some pretty good, Valerie plays out there.
Defend his 4 strength military
So
with
it was
5.
military with 5, get to draw a card.
And then, what are you going to do?
Oh, it's got to be an intrigue.
Got to be an intrigue.
Yep. And there it goes. Now, the real question here is, if I'm doing a rule by decree next turn, which I should be. I don't know that I do, but I should be. And I'm playing Condemned by the Council, that's why.
Gotcha. Where are you going to ice? Is it going to be a Golden Tooth?
It's always, to me, it's always gold.
Yeah.
It's almost always gold.
No, it's discarded. Not knelt.
It was just Nelter because he
for
won
the
won the intrigue
and then
challenge.
it's gone.
Yeah.
Oh, he gets it now. There we go.
Discarded. Alright, so there's another gold. So this is minus 2 gold essentially at this point from the Condemned by the Council and all of that goodness. And then we're going to go to the next plot, and we'll see what happens here. Could be a roll by decree. Of course, it's rarely in a plot deck, first known winner, that doesn't follow with a roll by decree. But I'm feeling frisky. It is Greyjoy summer after all.
That's true. I really would like to see that Raven come back out, just because Theon, when it's summertime, is ridiculous. So you drop a Fear of Winter.
Fear of Winter.
And he is like City of Spiders?
Looks like City of Spiders, yeah. So he's going to duplicate the kneel, and he's going to kneel 2 of my characters. Tough.
And you can't cancel that with a Lannister.
No, you cannot.
Sorry.
It is rough. So Dennis is going to draw his 4 cards. And
that's just aggravating.
Perhaps the roll by decree will follow the Fear of Winter, because I did know he was going to get so much card draw.
That's right. So 1 card to play.
1 card to play.
What do you want to play right now?
It's got to be serious. I have nothing to block this military challenge, so I'm either got to put something out and use the warships to pump it up to hopefully block. There it goes, another bloodthirsty crew. And that is the plan right now. We're going to try to keep that military challenge from claiming everyone. Although at this point, I've really got to be careful of the Valor.
That's right.
It's a high consideration. And, whenever you're looking at a board like this, I think waiting for the Valor, and a good answer to the Valor actually in this situation for me is roll by decree.
Mm-hmm.
Not a bad deal at all. You get to get some cards out of hand. In this case, it's not as good because he draws 4 right back, which is just ludicrous.
Right.
But I don't know. His Valor's going to be good here. There's really no way around that for me. But that Longship Iron Victor has been saving my life now with the card
really
draw. And I think I'm just trying to stall a little bit until I can hopefully find another Black Raven, or do something that's going to get me a more long-term advantage. You killed the wrong dwarf. He's going to kneel down that bloodthirsty crew, and I may cancel with Alanis, may not. Yes, cancel with Alanis.
And let this be a good for the record moment, because even though Dennis is drawing a huge number of cards, the Fear of Winter is fantastic in its ability to keep those cards from being useful, but didn't help you with cards that are already in shadows.
That's right. So we brought Alchemist Guildhall right out, and see ya, board. Welcome to Lannister.
That's right. 1.
And we're gonna kill 1 bloodthirsty crew. And if this is the copy, it is a claim too. Yep. Boom. Both the crews go. And then we go to the enemy informant. Now that's an interesting play for me. When you're looking at your characters, every one of them is great.
That's right.
So it's really hard to choose which is the best. Ooh, good polls. Seasick and Mirror, both excellent cancels. It's really hard to figure out which one you should be killing.
That's right. You win dominance because of your cog, which is always awesome.
Yeah, just more power.
What a useful
But
location. Jeez.
Dennis played that excellently. It didn't get to use my 2 claim on that Fear of Winter, which is one of his biggest draws. This is my restricted card. It essentially did nothing for me that turn. So it's probably not going to be anything for me that game, as opposed to something like a Val or, even a Fury of the Kraken.
Yeah.
Things that might actually help a lot. So he has shut down one of my key choices. City of Soldiers is going to kill Theon. It's just horrible, isn't it?
Yeah, these city plots are great once they start rolling.
But I drop at the gates, and because I have initiative,
You get to save before he gets to kill.
I may be able to.
Boom. So he's going to point it out.
In that case,
Wait for it. Ooh, Theon.
But
What?
Neil the save. Boom. And Theon has been on the chopping block a lot this game, but it's a hardy art to keep him around for sure.
Now, were you anticipating something like that was going to kill something in the plot phase? Is that what you went for?
When you see all the city plots, you know Soldiers is in there,
Uh-huh.
and he had built up enough to kill either Olannis or Theon, so it seemed like the right thing to do. I was also worried about my lack of military icons, of course, and the punishment that I'd been taking. So yeah, Windermere, it's just at the gates is a great card advantage plot anyway.
Bay of Ice.
Bay of Ice, yeah. It's going to help me draw into some cards.
And maintain that initiative, which is crazy. Another Greyjoy strong suit. Just high initiative,
Absolutely. Pillage and burn.
Oh man, look at that distinguished boatswain. Yes! Oh, wait.
Farwind comes
Farwind.
out.
Hello. See you, River Row.
River Row and Shadow Black are
And
probably going
Shadow
to
Black.
be rendered useless.
How much
here.
gold is on that plot? Is it like 1 or 2? It's pretty low, I think. City of
On
Soldiers.
City Soldier, I believe it's 302.
Is it really that
I
high?
think
Okay.
so. Or it could be a 102.
Can't remember.
I think it's 3. We'll know. We'll see what Dennis gets here. He's got a fat stack over there.
And a boatswain.
Ah, yes. And you see there's another lurking in hand there, too.
So these are... Whoa, your board just blew up.
Yep.
What is going on?
And this is Greyjoy right here. Dropping boatswains, Theon, Farwind causing the non-reduction of things.
This board looks dramatically different than it did 2 turns ago. This is crazy.
Sometimes you just have to stick it out. You really do. And this is especially against Lannister. You know this the best. Like, you might go 6 turns with all your stuff getting knelt out, but eventually, hopefully, it runs out.
Hopefully.
And then you get your 1 turn, and it's like, all right, I'm back in this thing.
I got my 1 challenge off. Gotcha. You couldn't kneel them all.
You could kneel, and at this point, it's really hard to kneel all of those guys.
Yes.
It really is.
Yes, you would have to do it with something like a Relentless Persecution and then just a whole bunch of other stuff, because there's a lot of uniques on the board nonetheless.
There's a lot.
Card and Shadows.
Card and Shadow, so at least 1 kneel is going to come from that guild hall.
So it looks like he did have 3 gold from that plot. 1 left to go.
And it's going to be
oh, no reducers. Sorry, Dennis. Thank you. Oh, he is just perplexed.
All right, pull it back.
Alright, so now he has to reassess, because he was probably going to use that, and still have that 1 gold, or whatchamacallit, to pull whatever he has in Shadows out to get a kneel effect and some other effect from the card that he has in Shadows. But we'll see what he does instead. Here it comes!
There he's going to get rid of Farwind.
Old Farwind.
That is the ultimate downfall of Farwind, and Dennis had Varys right when you needed him, which Varys often appears right whenever you need him,
And a
honestly.
kneel effect. Is it going to hit something that you want, or are you going to cancel it?
Well, Olannis is going to cancel it, so essentially he's just going to be kneeling down Olannis. Because he either chooses Olannis or he chooses something more valuable than Olannis. So there's really just no way to not get Olannis down there. And that leaves me with 2 boatswains and Theon. It's a very cinematic board. 2 Varys and 2 enemy informers. The
Looks
underhanded Lannisters versus the rapey Greyjoys.
Looks like he'll be winning an intrigue challenge against you.
Yes, no doubt.
But first, your military challenge.
I assume it's military.
Let's hope.
And at this point, with Naval Escort, Captured Cog, and Iron Victory, I can pretty much
Don't
win
pay
whatever
attention
challenge.
to all these ships. Look at my huge armada.
Yeah.
Pay no attention.
Pay no attention. There's got 2 boatswains on him. He's just going to oppose, and that'll be claimed.
Token defense. And see ya.
Too bad it's not summer, huh?
That's right. Stand back up. And a power challenge. Which he's now back at 4 strength, because there's no longer a card in Shadows.
That's right.
What a great card. He only costs 1.
That's right.
That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. So, he's moving power off of his house, and you are activating your warship to draw your precious card.
That's right. Because sometimes you just need the draw.
You do just need the draw.
You just need it.
You got that look like a sunset scene?
That's the guess.
Yeah.
Yep. So then we got a boatswain who can get stealth through on a power challenge, but he's going to easily deflect that military challenge.
Alright, so what's coming down the pipe? Looks like intrigue instead. So he wants intrigue and power. Kind of gave up on the...
Yep. I think that's wise. Oh, nice. 2 birds. I would assume, intrigue and then power, which is the right play, both at 2 claim. This is slowing the game down, stopping the momentum on my end, and a Valor has to be coming next turn. There's just no way around it. So we'll see who's going to come out ahead after this board clear.
It looks like he did select it. Whenever a plot is chosen that quickly, you can be confident that it will be exactly what the circumstance dictates. So.
Absolutely.
Valor, it is.
And it looks like, I think I dropped Retaliation here. That's one of my favorite counters to that.
Yes. The only one I like better is Twist of Fate, but
I do like Twist of Fate.
It comes with a lot of gambles for that 1 extra gold.
So we're going to save Lannister, of all things. Not Theon, Lannister.
I think that's a really smart choice here, especially with all the Neil and craziness that Dennis has up his sleeve.
Yes. It's obvious that this is an issue.
Meantime, he's drawing more cards.
I drew 1 for Bay of Ice and then drew 2, so the Greyjoy draw engine is working, at least so far.
And you're actually kind of even with him because you have your warship that's drawing you a card as well, so it's tit for tat in terms of card draw at this point.
A little bit tit for tat there. So we have Retaliation versus Valor. This is Retaliation. Any 2-claim plot really answering the Valor puts the Valor player in a very interesting position. Not interesting. I think that's overused. It's a crappy position. You'd have to play at least 3 things out to maintain any kind of board. If you are able to basically deflect the military challenge, you only have 2 gold of stuff to play out to try to do that. It's a hard position to be in, and if there's nothing out there, of course, 0 claim. The defender player doesn't care about kneeling everything down. 2-claim intrigue challenges at this point are nasty. 2-claim power challenges, you're going to start pushing towards the win. It's a weird one. It's a weird turn.
It is a weird one, but you're in a good position here because you at least have 1 character out and way more gold to spend. So we'll see what you can do with it.
Cancel an effect.
That's right.
So, waiting to react to Dennis here. This is going to be an interesting one. Notice he still has 2 chains on his house. He has yet to clear those with the Maesters. And Dennis runs... The Maester is actually kind of in a theoretical way that I would suggest it, in that you only run a few chains just to get what you want and get that basically toolbox of things that are going to fill the holes in your deck. And then you move on. It's just a game after that. You just get a little early advantage and go home, basically. Alright, so we're seeing basically the first turn replay itself, all the way from that first known winner. Aemon comes back out, and we're going to hopefully start working on some chains.
That's right. Because he's going to be hard to kill. He's going to be really hard to kill. But with Alanis, you can cancel the chain effect, can you not?
You can't cancel it coming onto something, but you can cancel the chain itself. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, indeed. Alright, Kingsmoot Hopeful comes out.
That's a great card. Only costs 2 for 3 strength with 2 icons and a noble crest.
Carrion Bird's all that we need here for military.
That's right. Start putting the squeeze on him. I'll have to lose at least 1 character.
And looks like that is it. So, no. It's not Retaliation, it's Power of Arms. So,
whoa, okay.
Same idea, but it's same 2 claim, but it's Power of Arms, which I do enjoy that plot quite a bit.
Now, with Power of Arms, why did you let Dennis go first?
I actually like the Valor player going first on his 0 claim turn, because you get to see the board. Like, I knew that, okay, I only need 1 Carrion Bird to do military, whereas I otherwise might have played more military strength this turn.
Sure.
You can see what icons they drop, you can see what you need to get challenges through, and you don't have to worry about the effects of their challenges before you go. So
nice.
I do like going second on the Valor turn.
Gonna do an intrigue, I hope? Or
yes,
assume?
Looks like. I imagine it's an intrigue. Always save Alanis for your last challenge if you're going to use her, simply because you want. I'm going to seasick Maester Aemon's saving himself there.
Ouch! That is not something Dennis wanted to see.
So that's going to be bad for those chains coming off the house, for sure.
Not at all what you want to see there with Master Aemon. People just assume that he's going to be almost impossible to kill, but no. Not with Greyjoy. They can assure death.
They can. Death is assured. And Atlanta's going to come through on the power challenge, looks like.
I think you already did the power. This is going to be intrigue.
Was that intrigue?
Yeah.
There you go.
Drawing some cards. What? 2. What do we get?
King's Pavilion and an Enslaved, looks like.
Ugh.
Excellent. That's what we want on that Kingsmoot Hopeful.
That's right.
Woo.
All right, so then Dominance goes to you because of your cogs. Mine, that's a great card.
Great card. Been running that almost 3 of in every deck since it came out. Just really like it. I think it pushes all of Greyjoy's strengths forward, and cards that really push your strengths rather than shore up weaknesses, I think, are ultimately better for you.
And this game has really turned around. You're sitting at 13 power compared to Dennis's 7. I wouldn't have expected this at all after that first turn, but it's really surprising how it's been turning out.
Yeah, it turned around. A really good post-Valor turn. The first snow, I think, was the play of the game. Without that first snow, I think it's lost. I would have been forced to Valor, which would have put me at a really big disadvantage early on before I had Windermere out. And it just, it would have been a bit of a disaster. So, we are here. It's a really good spot for Greyjoy to be in. The ships are established. Bay of Ice is rocking. I've stolen a gold.
Looks like you did Song of Summer, and he did City of Lies.
Yep.
Plot Lies, anyway. Drawing some cards, getting ready to marshal. I think you'll have initiative.
I will, of course, and we'll see if Dennis can do a grand comeback here. He's got 3 gold to do it with, and imagine taking both of those gold locations early was a very big deal. Obviously, in this game, you can see how significant of a difference that makes over time.
Yeah, totally.
Drop another cog, which is even better with that naval escort. Drop another cog, which means now I can do basically 4 characters at +4 strength, and a boat swing as the 4th character. So. And another gatehouse.
Man,
so look at that backboard.
Yeah, it's just singing back there. +3 to your gold. Oh man, that is a lot of initiative.
+6 initiative, +12 for dominance.
Actually, what? +7 initiative with Bay of Ice.
Yeah.
That's crazy, dude.
Yep.
There's not much you can do against that. And that is the last thing a Lannister player wants to see. It's like, great, I'm going second forever.
Absolutely.
It sucks.
Yep.
It really does suck.
Cogs do that. Between Cogs and Bay of Ice, it's good. Now, what you haven't seen yet is those games where Bay of Ice is just constantly drawing the Hollow Hill player a card.
That's right.
So you certainly have to leverage whether or not you put it in the deck, first of all, but second of all, if you actually drop it in the game. You're not forced to drop this card. This Bay of Ice you can hold on to. If nothing else, it can get in the way of more valuable cards during intrigue challenges.
Yep.
You don't have to play it. It's very tasty to play on setup, but if you're playing against Hollow Hill, I would suggest just don't do it. It's going to hurt you in the end.
Yeah, I would agree. And so what, Dennis has 4 gold to spend here along with 2 reducers, so 6 gold to play with. Can it negate whatever it is?
And Lannister is causing all sorts of issues.
You know, who knows what he has in his hand, but it probably won't be able to do anything, because at a time like this, you want those effects to be going off and hopefully controlling your board somewhat, but if without it being only 2 power away, this is probably just going to be game for you. But we'll see.
We will see.
Especially with whatever icon spread, because you know all you have to do is win any challenge, either power or any unopposed challenge, and then you're going to get it on dominance almost assuredly because of those cogs. So it's not looking good for Dennis.
Absolutely. Occam's Guildhall is not as influential as it should be against any other deck. It certainly would, but Atlantis is holding it down currently.
That's right. And really, even I've been on this receiving end of Atlantis any number of times. Just one effect canceled consistently every turn, it can just totally throw a monkey wrench into your deck. So I'm sure it's doing the exact same thing for Dennis, which sucks. It sucks. It's like, your one card is destroying my entire deck.
Absolutely.
That's crazy.
Now, what could he do if he had +2 gold right now?
Any number of things,
Who knows? But that, again, I think is also a Greyjoy specialty, is the resource denial game.
Yeah.
Of course, they can do it, with choke, but don't forget that Newly Made Lord is there for the same reason. And then in this deck, Support of the Kingdom and Kingdom by the Council, just some good effects.
And really, I would say that cancel is a form of choke all its own.
Certainly.
Not only to just shut off effects in and of themselves, but take a card like Enemy Informer, which Dennis has been playing a lot. Are you really going to spend 3 gold when you're not going to get the Neil for a 2 strength, 2 icon character? Probably not.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it really puts a lot of control, even when the cards, more so rather, when the cards aren't being played. So 2 reducers.
Double reduce for Jamie.
Jamie, he's not attacking or defending, or kneeling to attack or defend on a military challenge. King's Pavilion. I believe Jamie also has Deadly and Infamy.
That's right.
Costs 4 gold though. It's
But he
crazy.
does not have stealth.
He does not have stealth.
So
Man, if he did. Good
Yeah.
game, sir.
Dennis scoops it up, and
Power
there you
Challenge
have
wins
it.
it. Oh, there's a what is it? Tyrion.
Tyrion coming out, Alchemist Guild Hall. So there you go. Sometimes the early game is deceptive, and you just have to stick it out. I think this is well played by Dennis for sure. His deck is really, really fun. It's a really great deck. Just very controlly, classic kind of Dennis deck. And we'll see if maybe he comes back in the next top 8. I know he's already qualified, and we'll see if he can come back in the fall top 8 and perform and,
That's
and
right.
do a little better.
And thanks for watching, guys. As always, we appreciate you tuning in to us. And if you have any needs material-wise for Game of Thrones, we have subscriptions, house packs, singles, the whole shebang. And you can see all of that at teamcovenant.com/store. And it goes a long way in supporting us so we can do cool things like this for you guys.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Peace.